Greetings. Renaissance Man Education here. Young men, young adult men, I don't know, maybe even some grown men. One thing my father taught me was to say what you mean and mean what you say. As an adult, I understand now why he taught me that, because I see men who are unable to communicate with other men. I witness men who have issues communicating with other men peacefully. Sorry, my alarm just went off. I also witness men who say things that they don't mean, and they have to go back and clean it up after it causes issues. See, when you say what you mean, you have to think about what you're saying, and you're more careful and more selective with your words. Excuse me. When you just blurt out anything, whatever you say, you're still accountable for it. You're still responsible for it. The Bible says death and life is in the power of the tongue. And I've seen many occasions where people have spoken about things, and lo and behold, those things have came to pass. I've seen people talk themselves out of opportunities by either talking too much or saying the wrong thing, or even revealing that they really don't know what they're talking about. I've also witnessed people who are respectful in their speech, selective in their speech, be given numerous amounts of help and opportunities just by being polite and respectful. As a side note, yes, I'm from the South. We do things a certain way here, but I tell you what, you cannot go wrong with these 4 phrases. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, sir. And no, ma'am. When you give respect, especially if you go out of your way, either A, people respect you, or B, it's very clear who is being disrespectful should some type of incident or misunderstanding arise. Be calm, take your time, think, then speak. Recently, a colleague of mine asked me some questions about a particular situation dealing with another common person. We'll call my colleague person A. We'll call the other person person B. Men should not be mentioning names and spreading gossip. I'm speaking for the purpose of teaching a lesson. There's no need to include names. There's no need to expose people's information. Men don't carry themselves that way. So what you have to understand as a man, when you are communicating with another man, not only do you need to think about what you're saying, you need to think about the circumstances, the parties involved, the location, and the possibilities that may arise from you saying whatever it is you're about to say. Sometimes you don't need to speak at all. Not everything requires your presence or a response. Excuse me. With that being said, person A perceived an issue with person B, but because person A had a level of respect for me, what person A did was ask, what do you think about this situation? Because my initial response was, well, maybe it's best that you speak directly to person B. Person A thought about the circumstances and decided, you know what? It is not the best idea for me to speak directly to person B. It may get out of hand. There's also the possibility that the situation is being perceived wrong. And basically, person A wanted to understand whether or not some actions being taken or some things that were said based on a third party were true or not, or whether or not it was a personal matter. That was the main thing. So I listened, and that's another important skill, listening. That'll probably be an entire different video because it's another topic worth speaking on in depth, at length. I listened to everything person A had to say. I was also mindful to make sure that nothing was being said to person B or about person B that was inappropriate. If there's nothing good to say, you don't say it. I let person A know I don't believe person B has anything personal against you. And the gentleman let me know, hey, you know what? Coming from you, a respectable man, I will go ahead and take that and accept it as truth. I asked person A, are you sure? Person A said, Mr. Renaissance Man, I respect you and I believe you, and that's all I need to hear. Not only were two men able to communicate peacefully, but I was able to bring about peace in another situation. Men don't act and react with emotion. You don't let your feelings dictate how you should behave. Men act, speak, and carry themselves by way of logic, linear thought. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Entertain possibilities if need to. Have a backup plan, but that requires thinking. Think before you talk. Think before you act. Speak clearly. Take your time. Be calm. Take your emotions out of situations. Say what you mean. Mean what you say. If it's not necessary or it's going to cause problems, you don't have to say anything. Sometimes it's also best to wait to speak. I've learned that in my older age, everything doesn't require an immediate response. Sometimes you think things over. Timing is everything. Like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on TikTok. I have a Facebook page, and I will also have an Instagram page up to follow and match this channel shortly. Renaissance Man Education here. Be blessed and have a prosperous day.